Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. We had a crazy weekend of games and results and changing in the standings, and it's getting fun. So let's talk about it. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, brought to you by DraftKings. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Jimmy. Sitting next to me is Jake. Got Trevor in California and BBD behind the desk in the corner of the room. And guys, baseball, I'm going to steal it, Jake. I'm going to steal it from you. It's so hot in the streets. You can cook an egg on your driveway. That's how fun it is. We got a lot of drama. It's a great scene from Father of the Bride 2, Trev. This episode of Talking Baseball is brought to you by Matthew Kaw, Bobby Skinner. Shout out Talking Giants if you're a Giants, New York Football Giants fan. This guy's name looks like Dix, Holden. Thank you for being a patron. Tony Sini, Tyler Ross, and Daniel Ryan, our most recent patrons. Thank you very much for helping and supporting and appreciating the perks you get for being a patron. Trev, we'll start with you. How you doing? Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Can't hear a thing you're saying.
Jonathan Arauz right out of the start. Pitching a shutout. Nada.
Could hear you up
Wow.
until the moment we started the show after the 10 minutes of mic checks we did.
Damn.
Jake, how you doing?
God is good. I'm doing well. James, Trevor, everyone live in the chat. Trevor Plouffe wore his Yankees jersey for us today. Yeah, Jeets, babe. And now he's getting shut out. Unreal. Unreal. I'm doing well, James. You mentioned it off the top. Baseball hot in the streets.
Yes.
And maybe we're a little biased, but AL East, NL East, holy Toledo's, Cincinnati Reds, shout out. Trev, last episode said he was falling in love with Jonathan India. And man, those Reds have made it a discussion. They got so sad after that one series after the All-Star break, but since he's in the mix again, so that's fun. And, yeah, man, everywhere you turn your head, it feels like there's another highlight or another comeback or who's going 8-2 in their last 10. The AL East minus the Red Sox.
Trev, still don't have you? Did you try and unplug, replug?
I mean, you're going to have to leave and come back.
Yeah, you're going to. Yeah.
You
Seems
got a
like you weren't
cute
proactive
smile.
during that entire time.
I was trying to
You were
stretch
talking
it out
so
as
slow.
long as I could. He'll be back.
I don't know if he did anything
He
to help
always
the
is.
situation there.
He was so excited to talk about Backyard Brad, BBD's Phillies. Oh, my God. BBD's Mets.
I officially went 2 screens this weekend.
Wow.
I was watching 2 games at once at all times. It was exciting.
Constantly.
Hello.
Besides when I wasn't watching. There you go.
We're back.
Trev?
Trev, how are you doing?
James, Jacob, Big Dong, and the chat. I'm so excited. You know I love Monday episodes. You guys know that about me. I was trying to make it perfect. I put the extra thingy right here.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'll be popping them peas.
Yep.
I was trying to avoid that a little bit, but turns out I'm just a one-pad guy. Everything is good, though. I don't think so either.
You
but
have
I'm
to
just
believe
gonna-
in something.
Exactly. Had a great weekend, parties, barbecues, mostly children's parties. But as Jake knows, I was at Nameless Jeff's house last night, and we had a great time.
That is cool. Good for you.
And weren't you going to open up? Didn't you have a story about Fort Myers, Trev, popping a bunch of peas?
The Lonnie Kai? Booty
Dr.
shaking
Pimple
contest?
Popper. Jake loves that. Jake loves that Instagram account.
Oh, I
Deal
don't
with
see.
that,
I
Dr.
don't deal with
Popper.
that. I'm not that.
All right, we'll end the show with that then.
Hope everyone had a great weekend. Goodbye.
Nameless Jeff, shout out.
Jimmy, how are you doing?
It's a great question.
You look great.
Doing good. I'm a little upset because I've now realized that on Monday shows, Jake does Wake and Jake, and he gets like all his knowledge and reps in on that show, and you do the Chris Rose Instagram Live, and you get like all your practice and going, and Rosie walks you through all the happenings of baseball. Like, you guys come to the Monday app locked in, ready to go, and I'm just on the fly here.
I mean, yeah, Chris definitely helps me prepare for this, but you also do the world's greatest short clips breakdown style. So you.
I made 5. So I'm fully aware of like those. I made 5 yesterday. They're coming out soon. You want to talk about Brock Holt pitching or Verdugo not touching first base but being safe? I know everything.
You do know everything.
Those were kind of weird. Brock Holt pitching, I think that, and we can get into this, but Jake, I think we should go try and throw a ball 31 miles per hour and throw a strike. I think it's hard.
The first thing I told you yesterday before I even knew you were doing the breakdown was to throw it 31 like that, you got to throw McDonald's arch, man. That's tough.
Yeah. Like, I think that's more impressive than throwing 50 miles per hour for a strike. Like, there's a weird paper toss touch to that.
Why do we have position players pitch? It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Because it's 162 games. It's a 162 game season. They don't want to get rid of any of those games because of TV deals. And players and coaches and all front offices have agreed that trying your hardest for 162 games every day is not a smart way to go about playing a 162 game season. And they won't expand the rosters because they don't want to pay that many more players. So they want to have as many games as they can, because they get the most money, but they don't want to have as many players as they can because that means they have to spend a lot of money. So that leaves you with a lot of position players pitching in games that you don't care about anymore, and they should just change it to less games in a season, more players on a roster, or if you're up by 10 after the 7th inning, game's over. They won't do anything.
I would love for a manager to have to come out and like submit a resignation like flag or something like that. Like, we give up. Like, waving the proverbial white flag, I think, would be awesome and humiliating all at the same time.
And you have a designated guy in the team that's the white flag guy.
Just like, fuck.
It's like the pink backpack guy in the bullpen is the white flag guy. We're done.
And then you give the fans that are at that game, you give them an incentive to come back to another game. I think the league is overthinking this one a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we got the record set for slowest called strike in the speedometer era. It's like, actually, it's not the StatCast era. It's 2008. Slowest called strike ever thrown.
2008, that's the only time we ever had a radar gun? I don't understand.
Yeah. Yeah. It used to be illegal to have radar guns at the stadium, Trev. Did you ever play during that, or were they always there for your career?
Well, I was professional baseball since 2004, so maybe but I don't believe that. I feel like scouts were always like doing this.
Yeah, but like on the screen, like for the players to be able to see.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah, because the Yankees, if you go watch old games of Yankees or any players, the batters would always be looking back into the stands because there would be a scout there telling them how fast the pitch was. Like Jeter, A-Rod, a lot of Yankees, you look back and they're looking at something, and it was a guy that would say 5. There's a hand code that someone told us.
Yeah.
It was like 5 minus 2, and that means it was like 93.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
That's crazy because, if you don't have that as a ball player who, everyone's used to it now, when you don't have it, you're like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you need to see what a guy's throwing. Like, that helps your cadence and your timing. And then when you don't have
it used to be
that,
illegal. Like, if they caught those guys cheating with that guy holding the radar gun, it would have been, like, in trouble. Like, batters were not allowed to know.
Crazy.
So I'm guessing that's like 2008 is when that changed, when they started putting the speed.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So, slowest recorded strike in history of baseball. Was it Yermin? Or no, it was Astudillo. He set the record earlier this year. So it's a huge year for slow pitches called strikes. Record got broke twice.
He also slid feet first into first base, so.
Wow.
The Tortuga.
You want to get right into the NL recap? You guys want to hear what happened? There's some good stuff. It's brought to you by DraftKings. Go to DraftKings. Hey, the Olympics are over. I wonder what their big deal is now. College football season has begun. Wow. And to celebrate, Sportsbook app is putting new players in the center of the action with $200 in free bets instantly. If you bet $1 more on any college football game, take advantage of this limited time offer now. When does college football start?
It's coming up, man. They always sneak up a couple early games. I guess 2 Saturdays we'll get like a game.
Yeah. I think we're approaching the season.
Bet $1 on any college football team to win, and if they win, you get $200 in free bets. You download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOMBOY to receive $200 in free bets when you place $1 bet on any college football game. That's promo code JOMBOY to get your free $200 in free bets instantly for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or PA. Only new customers, only restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in Indiana. 1-800-9 with it. I've got the NL today. Here you guys go.
Let's go.
Up first, it was a series that I was interested in. The Giants going to Milwaukee to take on the Brewers, and their stud pitchers. Burns shuts them down in game 1, and the Brewers win in 10th inning. Goes extras. Burns and Webb go pitcher's duel. But who got it? Tella's got the walk-off single in the 10th. Slapped a single down the line to score the winning run. In game 2, another pitcher's duel. Sanchez and Woodruff goes to the 9th inning. The Brewers are up 2-1. They get the last out, a fly ball to Avisail Garcia. Game over. Series 1 for the Brewers. He gets completely spun around, lost. He drops it. Giants tie the game. They score 3 in the 10th. The Brewers come back with 3 of their own. Then the Giants score again in the 12th, and the Giants win game 2. Rubber matches Cueto versus Anderson, and the Giants win 5-4. Belt with a game-tying 2-run home run in the 7th inning. The Brewers were up late again. The Giants come back and win it and take the series. Giants become the first team to 70 wins this season. Descalfani only expected to miss 1 start, and Longoria begins his rehab assignment. Next up, another great matchup in the National League. The Mets and the Phillies played 3, and the Phillies swept the Mets. Our guy, Gibby, pitched really well, outpitched Stroman. Also had the go-ahead RBI against Stroman, and then the other trade deadline piece, Ian Kennedy, comes and closes it out for him. Phillies win 4-2. In game 2, the Phillies win 5-3. Rangers Suarez to the rest of the bullpen. And I believe in game 2, some big happened that I'm forgetting as well. Harper had a bunch of home runs this series. Phillies starting pitchers pitched to a 0.51 ERA. It was crazy. The Phillies relievers did give up some home runs. That's what happened. The Mets hit 3 straight home runs in the 9th. They had to bring Ian Kennedy in again. And then in game 3, Wheeler versus Taijuan Walker. And Taijuan Walker has a bounce-back start. He goes 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, which is good because he was on a bad little stretch there. But Wheeler absolutely drops dick, as you guys would say, and wins the game. Complete game. 11 Ks. Really good. Harper goes crazy. Backyard Brad goes crazy. Nationals and Braves. The Braves took 2 out of 3. They didn't hit that well, but they pitched really well. How about that? They had Mueller, Morton, and Fried all go. Alcides Escobar had 5 hits with 2 extra base hits. Ryan Zimmerman had 3 extra base hits. Riley Adams had a go-ahead 2-run home run in the 9th of game 2 for his first career home run. Max Fried, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. How about that? Soto doesn't start any of the 3 games, but pinch hits in games 1 and 2. The Braves take 2 out of 3, and they slide up in the NL East standings. The Diamondbacks and the Padres played, and the Padres took 2 out of 3. Padres starting pitchers pitched to a 4.2 ERA. Their relief pitchers held it down with a 1.8. D-backs pitching was bad. Adam Frazier had 6 hits with a double. Cronenworth had 3 hits with 2 extra base hits and a home run. Cronenworth also made a really nice play. Machado had a go-ahead RBI single in the 8th. After losing game 1, Padres win the back end. Snell, 7 shutout innings with 13 Ks in game 3. Holy smokes, I didn't see that. I didn't realize that. That's a really good line from Snell.
Snakes.
What's that?
Snakes.
Yeah, still really good. Tatis has made significant improvements recently, and Paddock remains without a timeline to return. And then a very important sweep. The Reds swept the Pirates. They absolutely, it was a 4-game sweep. 7-4 in game 1 with Gray on the mound. 10-0 in game 2 with Miley on the mound. 11-3 in game 3 with Vladdy Goots on the mound. And then Tyler Mahle on the mound in game 4. They win 3-2. Reds starting pitchers at 2.52 ERA. All of them pitched really well. Their bullpen did even better, and they just hit the shit out of the ball. 4-game sweeps are hard, but when you play the Pirates, you got to do it. And the Reds and the Padres are really getting interesting. It's 2 games difference for that second wild card game, and I like this Reds team because I think they fully believe. They're also 5 games out from the Brewers. Marlins and Rockies sweep. That didn't fit to the music, but Rocky swept them, the Marlins. Yeah, I want to start there with you guys. I know you were talking about that, Jake. I heard it on Wake and Jake. You know, Paul O'Neill, who talks Yankees play-by-play guy, always says 5 games is the number. As long as you have a series against the team, you're within 5. You think you're within reach as a ball player. Interested to hear your thoughts on that, Trev, because that is what the Reds are to the Brewers. 5 games. And that's what the Yankees are to the... They were to the Rays. And, you know, that's what everyone says. As long as you have a series, 5 games is a good number. Because, you know, you can take care of 2 games on your own, and then you get 3 against that team. Do you agree with that, Trev? Do you think the Reds are looking at the Brewers and saying, yeah, of course we can?
Well, with this many games left, yes. And if you have the heads-up series, yes. As we start to get a little bit further in, you know, say we get to September and you're still 5 games back, that's a lot of games to make.
Yes.
But, you know, we're sitting here and it's August 9th today. There's plenty of baseball left. 5 games, especially if you get to continue to play the team, it's definitely not insurmountable. Oh, man, it's so hard for me to buy in on these Reds. They seem like they reel me in, then they spit me out, then they reel me in, and they spit me out. Jake knows all about that. So I like them. I want to root for them, Jim.
Well,
they're fun.
The Pirates, you know, 4-game sweeps are hard, so it's good that they won all 4. But if they won 3 out of 4, I think you're saying, like, okay, good, you had to. You still got a lot to prove. But 4 out of 4, I'll give them a little pat on the back. And they're pitching and hitting. They just, like, bombarded them, which is good.
Yeah, and the Brew Crew took, you know, or the Giants took care of the Brew Crew, so that helped them out a lot too. So this is, you know, it's getting interesting.
We're starting to get to kick yourself for previous losses. Like, the baseball season's been happening, and you're kind of, you know, baseball happens. But, man, if you're the Reds, you're looking at that Brewers set right after the All-Star break. We did a whole thing. What teams are going to get back in it? We talked about the Blue Jays. We talked about the Brewers. We talked about the Phillies catching up with the Mets, and the Brewers swept them 3-game set right after the All-Star break. If you're a Reds fan, you got to be punching a little air about that right now, but you're also playing a great brand of baseball, and you've got a formula. I mean, you're starting pitching. Luis Castillo has fully turned it around. And that lineup, now that Jonathan India's going and Votto's turned around, Jesse Winker, man, go look at the numbers. I know, you know, maybe I'll have Kyle post a clip again or someone of me telling Jesse Winker, you're really good at hitting, man. Go look at the stats. He's nuts. He's leading the NL in total bases. He's leading the NL in doubles. 9-something OPS. The dude's a monster. The Reds have a formula. You just got to keep winning games, and you kind of... That 5 games in the standing is cool. Like, it doesn't feel out of reach, but you almost can't keep an eye on that. Like, you took care of the Pirates. Good job. Now you've got, 1 game versus Cleveland, a makeup game, so get that dub real quick. And then you're playing a couple weeks ago we would have lost the bet, an important 3-game set, Reds and Braves. Reds and Braves.
Just to clarify, I'm not really eyeing the Reds as being able to pass the Brewers, but I'm saying in the club. But I am the Padres. That's a real race right there. But I'm just saying in the clubhouse, Trev. I was like, if the guys see 5 at this time, they have to be thinking of it that way. Yeah.
You know what's interesting about the Reds is, what do you like? You think about them. What do you think their strength is?
Hitting.
Yeah, hitting, right? OPS, 3rd in the league. They're in all of baseball, 765 OPS.
Best
OPS
in the NL.
Plus, though.
Best in
OPS
the NL.
plus, though, below average, 94 OPS plus. How is that? Someone explain to me how that happens.
I think that stadium factor stuff, which I think sometimes gets overplayed, but
I don't understand that because I think of them banging too. But, there's statistics that say maybe they aren't banging like we thought they are. And they are scoring a lot of runs per game. I think they're pretty high up there in that as well. They're 5th in the league in that, averaging over 5 runs per game.
So their stadium factor is plus 117. It's 3rd in park factor as hitters ballpark. So I'm guessing that's why the OPS plus takes stadium factor into account. It goes Coors Field, Miller Park, Great American Ballpark. Those are the top 3 good hitters stadiums.
Those are so fun to hit in all of those.
And hey, maybe that's where the pitching staff deserves a little more love. Luis Castillo fully turned around his season. Wade Miley, how's your 20 starts to the tune of a 2.75 ERA?
Second in baseball in WAR, I believe, or at least the NL.
And hearing Jim say Vlad Goot, that did something for me.
Vladdy Goots. Ooh. Yeah. Vladdy Guts was taken 2020.
Oh.
Vladdy. He's no more. And I have to correct it. In 2021, the data I just read was old. It went up to 2016. Great American Ballpark is ranked 2nd in hitter-friendly runs allowed. So that's why, I think, right? It goes Coors Field, Great American Ballpark, Fenway, Progressive, Nationals Park.
Wow.
Kauffman, Truist, Chase. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, they also got Moose back. The chat's been kind of fired up about that.
Moose.
That's a big addition. So they're cocky as hell. We know that. So 5, 6, 7 games, they don't give a shit. They're ready to compete, and hopefully they'll make a run at it because that's more fun for us to talk about.
Everything's getting real fun. Speaking of who else was here, the Giants and the Brewers. Avasale catches a fly ball, and it's the Brewers take that series. Somehow the Giants find ways to win, and they're the best in the league at doing that, which is crazy. They still don't hit the good starting pitchers, but that doesn't matter. So maybe take my theory and throw it out the window, unless in the playoffs they get shut down by every other team's 1 and 2, and then my theory is like true and good, because they got not that the Giants pitchers aren't shutting down people as well. They are, but they got shut down by the 1 and 2 again, and then they beat Cueto. But the Giants, even then putting up 3 in the next inning in game 2, and then putting up runs again, they're just fucking keep going. A pinch hit, 2-run shot by Belt. Did you see that pitch? I probably didn't. I was doing the research. It's our dual Big Sal.
Yeah. Big Sal versus Tyro Estrada the other night.
Big Sal Romano. It's a 3-2 pitch, and he threw this wraparound arm side slurve thing that was going to dot low and away corner to Belt, the lefty. If he doesn't swing at it, we're all like, that was nasty. He kind of just throws the bat head at it and takes it deep to dead center for a 2-run homer. I'd like if you see it, Trev, tell me if you think that was a bad pitch or a good swing or what, because I think it's a good pitch that Belt just fucking wins.
Brandon Belt's good. Trevor Plouffe got yelled at for that before. And hey, we've seen a lot of teams. I think it might be Dog Days of August stuff. We've seen a couple defensive error plays, and Avasale's by the wall. It's not an excuse, but that's your other factor there. But the Giants, I don't care about your 1s and 2s. I care about their 71 and 41. That's gross. That is gross. It's the best record in baseball, and no one's really on their heels except goddamn Rays, which is a whole nother conversation. But
the goddamn
Rays, dude, unreal.
Jim, I didn't love the pitch as much as you did. It's caught a lot of the plate down.
Yeah,
but caught a lot of the plate.
Well, for a guy that's getting DFA'd 3 weeks in a row, throwing a 3-2 breaking ball, I thought was gutsy, and then he would have found the zone.
I think it's 1-1. It was 1-1.
Was Belts hit the other hit 3-2 then? Maybe I'm thinking of it wrong.
Yeah, this count was 1-1 that I'm watching. The top of the 7th.
Okay, never mind.
Never mind.
Well,
but yeah, like you said, Jake, 71 freaking wins. The Giants, what was their total
Yeah, they got to be close
this year?
It's
Like
probably
79 or
around there.
something.
Yeah.
It's wild, man.
Gabe Kapler, manager of the year.
You know, it's funny. I saw this clip. I'll give a shout out to another pod on this pod because we don't care. Xavier Scruggs doing a podcast for MLB. It's called The Bigs. He had Tim Anderson on there. Saw a snippet of it. And he asked, like, what do you got to do to be like mentioned with like the best shortstops in the game? And Tim Anderson had like the best answer I've ever heard. He goes, I don't care about any of that. He goes, these are people just talking. He's like, it's people just thinking they know something or making a list up so they have something to talk about. And I don't care about any of that. And that's like, it's kind of true, man. Like, yeah, we talk about a lot of stuff, but sometimes the shit that we talk about and the things we think are going to happen don't freaking happen. Giants is one of those. And I know that's almost like a Vegas thing too. And there's a lot of numbers and data that went into that projection. But shit, man, sometimes we're way off the freaking mark. Giants. Giants is one of those.
And it was
times.
a 3-2 pitch. You looked at the wrong highlight. So go find the right highlight and then tell me what you think of that pitch.
Because we got to highlight
Another
off.
one?
Top 11,
Important.
Sal Romano, Brandon Belt,
Oh, yeah, I went lefty.
August 7th.
Oh, here it is.
There it is. Trevor's watching the pitch. Head is turned to the side.
Is this a 1-2 pitch?
Oh, boy. We're back at 1.
3-2
I
pitch.
can't find it.
Sounds
Ball,
like a
strike,
3-2
ball,
pitch.
foul, ball in play.
How many freaking home runs did this guy hit, dude?
Belt, he hit
That's a
4.
lot.
He hit 4 this weekend.
He hits a lot, man.
That's why. There it is. Okay, I got it. Let me see it.
Huge. Here we go. Brandon Belt. Home runs.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's not a great pitch.
Okay.
Not a great
So we all agree.
It was a good location, but that shit was like just fucking, rolling up there. Not
If
very
he doesn't
sharp.
swing, I think everyone's like, damn, that was a nasty 3-2 pitch.
Yeah, location was good.
This is
Pitch
huge.
itself, eh.
All right. Red sweep. Padres take 2 out of 3. You got any thoughts on that? D-backs?
Guys, NL East.
Yeah, we need to talk.
What
to
are we
NLs.
doing? The Braves roll up on the Metropolitans. Even Cohen's owner meeting couldn't stop.
No, the Phillies rolled up on the Metropolitans.
Phillies rolled up on the Metropolitans. Cohen's owner meeting couldn't save them. And Hotlanta, man. Hotlanta's doing some fun stuff. So the Mets are in 3rd place in the NL East. And, Mets fans like to get mad at us, although they might get some good news from us in the next 24 hours. Teaser.
There's so much to talk about in that Mets-Phillies series. I want to go silly first.
Go.
I'm going to go silly first. Has Rhys Hoskins turned into a meme god? Like he's memeing himself every home run with his reactions. What's up with that?
I don't know. Cracked me up, and I made that video where I yelled his.
You did that,
Yeah.
Sir.
but then he's been doing it more and more. I think he's aware.
It's
I think
funny.
He's aware that people are going to be like watching his reaction. So, anyways, good for that. Also, the Steve Cohen owners meeting. What do you guys got on that? I'm curious what you think.
I didn't hear a lot about it. He just went to the clubhouse and talked to the guys.
Spark the troops,
Yeah, there's no quotes or anything from it. Just he went down to the clubhouse. That's just not a typical thing that ever happens.
And
Did old George? Did he ever do that? I'm sure he probably did.
Steinbrenner?
George
Yeah.
used to yell at the
Yes.
boys.
Yeah. He
Like
was
in the clubhouse.
He was in the clubhouse after every game.
Okay, see that's different. I've never had an experience.
And he was
like that.
different.
He was different.
Yeah,
That
him,
needs to be
Jerry
clear. He was
Jones.
the bad example.
Yeah.
I think the bigger thing where Cohen screwed the pooch a little bit here is, your team's on a little bit of a cold streak. You lost 3 of 4 against the Florida Fish. You lost the first 2 games against the Phillies. And you're facing the best pitcher in the National League right now with DeGrom out. I don't think that was the time for the owners' meeting. You got to line that up with a good, maybe your next Nats series. That should spark the bats a little more than your speech. But hey, kudos to the Phils. We were trying to spot this, and we're a scheduled pod, and a lot of the numbers, whether you looked at Fangraphs or Baseball Reference percentages, said that the Phillies were still the favorite in the division. That was because of the West Coast trip that ain't happened yet. So, I mean, if your Mets, you're 1 game over 500, how much do we give the Mets credit? And, a lot of injuries, and they kept that buffer all season. Now they are behind the train with their West Coast trip coming. 13 games, Dodgers, Giants. Oh, boy, Metropolitans.
Yeah, I don't mean to keep harping on this, but it was so interesting to me. Like, what did Stephen Cohen say?
Nothing,
What can he say? He doesn't know baseball. Come on, man.
Nothing.
Like, what's he going to go in there and he's going to pump the guys up saying what? If you win tonight, I'll give you $1 million a piece. That would do it.
I mean, I think when Steinbrenner did it, and he threatened to trade people, and then they didn't start winning.
Can't do that.
And he did trade people. Like, that was a different message. It was like, oh shit, manager's gonna get fired, and he's gonna trade us if we don't play. Like, Steinbrenner traded a rookie after he made his debut just to make a point, and then that dude. So, like, I don't know. I mean, if you look at Steve Cohen, man, I mean, that's like, I don't care how much money you got. You go stand in front of a bunch of athletes. There's no way that dude can inspire those men. There's just 0% chance. That would be like sending in like who's our dude? Wallace Shawn to go inspire a team.
It just doesn't make
he might
any
have
sense.
a better.
He could inspire.
Yeah,
He's seen a lot.
It doesn't make any sense. And then Pete had the press conference after the game, which I talked about this on the C Rose IG live show. I think
I have the audio for this. Can I play it if you want?
Yeah,
to talk
go
about
for it. Yeah.
Those in the fan base that don't have an interest in the process, that really only care about the results. And right now, you're not as a team getting the results.
Well, baseball, for not just other people don't view baseball as a job. Like, all of us have jobs that we do. And for me, I'm lucky and blessed enough for this to be my job. But my job is on TV. And this past week, it was a rough week for me. No doubt, for sure. But everybody comes home from a bad day of work. Everybody has had a bad day of work. And even though that you're trying and giving your best at work or whatever your profession, you can try, and you can really dive into it and really hope that you turn things around. I mean, you guys are reporters, writers. Let's say if, there's such a thing called writer's block. Like, I was a history major. I had to do a ton of writing in college. Like, there's certain times in the process where you're doing the right thing. You're on the right path, but you're just not getting the tangible results. So Mets fans, believe in us. And don't just believe, know. Because there's tough times, not just in baseball, but in life in general. Know that this is just a speed bump and a challenge. And also smile. You get to watch baseball, even though it's a game. I know we have the most passionate fan base in baseball. I know that. And I understand that it's frustrating. It's frustrating for us, but just understand that we're here together. We're all in this together, and we got this. We got this. Just smile and just know that we got this.
So what did you want to say, Trev?
Oh, like, the more I listen to it, holy crap, that was
what it
out
is,
there, Pete.
You're used to players and coaches and all sports talking in platitudes, but there's a sense that they know they're talking in bullshit platitudes, and they're just saying the things in the Hallmark card quotes because that's what you have to say. But with Pete, there's like a sense that he believes it, which is almost more
beautiful,
strange. And it's like he's like would belong at a Tony Robbins like meet and greet where they're just saying like positive energy and powerful people, we can do it. It's chanting like I don't know. He kind of weirds me out in a way. Like, I like him. I think he's I think he's innocent and beautiful. But like, what are you doing, Pete? What are you doing?
That's a great way to describe him. Innocent and beautiful. I do love me some Pete. My thought on it is that it's true. Like, what he said was true. Like, yeah, they're going through some rough times. They are putting the work in. Things will get better. Probably after they go on the West Coast trip, because that'll be a beast. But he's in New York. You don't say that stuff in New York. People don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear smile because you get to watch baseball.
It's probably the
games.
worst
That's
quote.
not the market.
Easily.
You know, I said this morning, I said, maybe if you said that in Minnesota, the people would be like, oh, you know what? You're right. Like, life's not too bad. Let's just keep working hard and we'll go get it. That's not New York. At least I'm Yankees Twitter all the way, baby. If a Yankees guy came out and said that, Yankees Twitter would be on fire. I'm sure Mets Twitter is on fire about that because nobody wants to be told when their team just gets swept by the freaking Phillies and now they're in third place. Nobody wants to be told, smile, know that we got this. They want to hear a guy up there saying, wow, we just got our ass kicked and we're going to do whatever it takes to get back to the top. We believe in our team. We're working hard. We're going to get back for you guys. That's what they want to hear. Whether that's the right thing to say or not, that's what the fans want to hear. They do not want to be told to freaking smile.
Did you hear James McCann's quote?
I did not.
He said that the team needs to play with a sense of urgency. You can't keep saying, we'll get him tomorrow, because the next thing you know, you look up and it'll be the middle of September and it's too late. There needs to be a sense of urgency, but there's a difference in sense of urgency and panic. It's probably the better
Great
note
quote.
to hit. Yeah.
Great quote. James McCann, we've heard that he's a great leader. Not saying that Pete isn't, but man, I just like when I started listening to it, I was
you
like,
can't
what's he
get
going
mad
on?
at him because that's who he is.
Pete, that quote was genuine. I know we all had our.
He dropped the history major on you.
It's huge.
It's like he thinks he's saying something there. Like, you know how like writers, you get writer's block.
It's relatable.
It's like
They'd like to be called journalists, by the way, just
Mix
so
it up.
for next time.
Hey, I'll say this. That kind of sucked. I love Pete Alonso. It was a little bit the kid that gets in front of class and doesn't know the answer, so you just say 3 different answers and hope you get partial credit on all of them. I know from experience on that.
I have him. That was his planned, prepped answer. Like
You
thinks
can hear him stumbling
he
into
thought about
different
that.
thoughts here. At the end, you hear him, and oh yeah, and oh that sounds good too. Like you hear the platitudes in his head, which, by the way, hey,
What's platitudes, bro? You guys have used that word way too much.
it's an animal. It's amphibious. It's got the big beak. No, man. I'll say
it's
this.
like a cliche remark.
Here's
like,
what matters.
We'll get him tomorrow.
Sure.
Here's what matters. Guess what? If the Mets roll off 6 straight, Pete's going to look like the king of the world. If they continue looking like they have been, it's going to look worse and worse. And that's going back to Tim Anderson and his quote. Who cares? If you're winning, times are good. If you're losing, times are bad. So, hey, Mets, you better win, especially I think it's Nats, and then they start that 13-game streak. So, it's go time, baby.
If this continues the way it continues, the Mets finish in 3rd place. I haven't been a part of like fan baseball Twitter for a long time, but I know that the Mets have the reputation. This would be one of the most Mets seasons of all, at least that I've experienced.
I'm going to disagree a little bit, but I'm not disagreeing. So I agree with you. It would be classic.
We still
Mets.
don't know where it lands.
But
That's what matters.
This is the
That's what I'm
first.
saying.
This is the. But even if they don't make the playoffs this year, it's the new ownership came. They said, give us a couple years. Like they didn't say we're going to have a winner right away. You know, it's like when Theo came to the Cubs and he said, give me 5 years. So this isn't like a failure by the Coens or a failure by the new group if they don't win this year. It's actually a success. Like if it's just the order of events went wrong, but they're good. They're competing, and obviously the guys in the clubhouse have good energy and like morale, and the bullpen's good. They went out and traded for Javi. They got Lindor. They're spending money. Like it's still a different Mets than the bullpen collapse year. So I'm not like
we don't know the
give 'em
story
time
yet.
still.
We don't
And
know
they
the
could
story. These
come
Mets
back.
could battle to
They
the
could
end,
come back. You're
and
right.
we could give them a ton of credit. Or there's a lot of personalities on this team right now. They brought in Javi. Stroh always lets it rip. There's a lot of different personalities on different ends of the spectrum that if things go south and further south, then, Trevor, you could be right. Because things could get
I think
hot
that's the
there.
point, though.
I
I
mean,
think that's the point. They've done a lot, and they've made a lot of the right moves, and we're still standing here and looking up there.
It's
in third
so
place.
weird they can't hit.
guess what?
It's so weird.
That,
they have a good lineup.
that squirrel raccoon situation, a lot of fun when you're in first place. I said this at the time. guess what? You start having those
Forgot about that.
situations when you're in third place and it's the dog days of summer, then those aren't as fun. So we'll see. And, hey, the other team that needs to be talked about is the Atlanta Braves, who they're back in the mix, man. They're back in the mix. They got a couple guys that are doing it. Freddie Freeman, go check out his season. Back to being Freddie Freeman. And then everyone else is contributing. Soler, Riley, Dansby, Duvall, Jock. And the pitching is the other big point in that. Maximus Fried, our guy, he's back in the mix looking good. They're going to need more. But they're in the mix. And a week ago, we didn't know if that was going to be the situation. So good for the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah. Interested to see how they go the rest of the way. I'm kind of all in on the Phillies. I mean,
they're the bet with their 3 pitchers right now in that lineup, but
they have so much fun and momentum, and they had a bullpen day planned. What's that?
I feel like I was on the Phillies and everyone was talking crap. I said they got a chance.
But I like the moves they made. I like bringing in Gibson and Kennedy. And now last episode we were looking at them changing their rotation a lot. Like, those are big-time moves. Suarez has another good outing. Probably not as deep innings as they wanted him to go since he was on 60 pitch count. But Wheeler going complete game after the bullpen game to now save the bullpen and reset it is huge.
Oh, my God.
Gibby going 6 strong before the bullpen game is huge. Everything kind of worked out for them.
Baseball moves quick. The Phillies are playing the Dodgers and the Reds this week. Couple teams with a lot of talent that are in the mix. So interested to see where we're at on Friday and next Monday, because I think all of us are going to be walking over our words the next 2 months with how this NL East is going to play out.
I agree. We're just talking.
Tim had it.
Just talking.
Great quote.
All right. I think that's all. I think that's everything.
Braves on the Braves note, getting Yanoa back.
Your boy.
Darno's coming back. Like, if Yanoa can be what he was before he punched the seat and broke his hand, we're talking now Braves can catch the Phillies, no problem. If he comes back and he is a shell of himself, then no. They need him to come and be the rock star that he was.
I think the other team that we need to mention, and if we didn't, we'd get a lot of angry tweets. The Padres. Sure, they take out 2 out of 3 from the Snakes. Snell, back-to-back good starts. Jomalope, I know you were eyeing their pitching staff. Snell, back-to-back good ones. Big Joe Musgrove has turned the page a little bit. So Padres, and like we said, the Reds are on their butt now. 2 games back. That's real.
Padres need Tatis. Vegas still has Tatis as the NL MVP frontrunner, which leads me to believe like they've heard good stuff about his shoulder and that he's probably going to try to play through it this year, which kind of makes sense. You just got, he'll play through it. He might have to pop that thing back in line every once in a while and then get surgery in the offseason. But they freaking need that guy.
They do. Yeah, I'm excited to see who the Padres play next.
The Fathers. It looks like.
I mean, the Pirates lineup after trades and stuff is
Snakes.
Reds for the.
And hey, how about this? The Padres are hosting Miami, who they've been bug eating a little bit, and then Arizona and Colorado.
Wow.
So the Padres.
Oh, baby.
But it's in Colorado, so that's actually a different baseball team than we think in our heads. But Miami and Arizona, get fat, San Diego.
Why are people saying Tatis in the outfield?
Because Cronenworth made a really nice play, and Tatis is the worst defensive shortstop in this season, maybe?
Prone zone.
I don't know.
Love the Crone zone.
Did it.
That's all. That's the headlines. That's the headlines that he's supposed to return as an outfielder.
Wait, that's out?
He was seen shagging fly balls in both right field and center at Petco Park Friday, according to the San Diego Union Tribune's Kevin Acey. When asked about a potential move to the outfield upon Tatis' return, Padres general manager Preller had this to say. Right now, the idea is let's see if he can get back on the field, and then we'll think about anything after that.
Is it his right shoulder? Is it his throwing shoulder?
Left shoulder.
Okay.
I mean, I think they with Cronenworth at short and Frazier at second, their infield is stronger if Tatis can play a corner outfield.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of money to be given to a corner outfielder.
A lot of moving parts, sir.
Yeah.
I'm listening to Tingler right now talk about it.
Jace.
Basically said he's doing it right now to like stay active and he looks good out there. The guy said, how real is the possibility of him going out there? He said, I don't know. He said, we'll have to have a lot more discussions about it. We think he's capable, but so there's no freaking way they put him in the outfield. You don't just put somebody in the outfield and think, oh, they're going to be a freaking star out there. That's not how it happens.
Welcome to the
Alex
Yankees.
Gordon could do it. A lot of people cannot do it.
We'll see.
Get healthy.
exception.
I hope we find out, Fernando.
Yeah. All right. Who has the AL today?
You know it, Poppy. Come on.
Let's go, Poppy.
You do?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it. What happened in the American League?
Jimmy Trevor Plouffe Yankees hosted your Mariners for a 4-game set. How's your AL wildcard hunt? And the Yankees survive. They win the first game 5-3. Joey Gallo. I said Joey Gallo. He's dead. Joey Gallo finds the short porch. Welcome to the Bronx, babe. Huge comeback 3-run home run by him to get the dub. Yanks in a bullpen day. Bullpen drops it all over the field. They go extra innings. Old man Brett Gardner walks it off for them. Yanks survive a Heaney start as the Heen dog settles in. And then they drop the final game 2-0. Kikuchi, Jim's guy, 5-inning shutout. Kind of outduels Luis Hill? Not really. Yankees blow it late with the bullpen. Yanks are winning game. They've got another COVID outbreak. There's other injuries. Chaos, but the Yankees keep winning, which they need to do in a big way. Speaking of, the Toronto Blue Jays hosted the Boston Red Sox in the Great North. They knock them around. Game 1, Toronto wins 12-4. Doubleheader day, the Jays win 1-0. Oh boy, Simeon with the walk-off in that game. Game 2, they go extras, 8 innings. Jonathan Arauz with the go-ahead RBI single. And then, if you didn't see this highlight, go check it out. Red Sox up 7-2. They're about to split the series. Holy George Springer. Glad someone doubled down on him last episode. The huge 3-run yacker to take the lead. Oh, it was a beauty. You gotta watch it. That's baseball, Susan. Here's a fun one. The Houston Astros lost 3 out of 4 to Trevor Plouffe's Minnesota Twins. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Twins pitched pretty well. 3.8 ERA from the pitchers, 3.45 from the relievers. They just kind of got dubs. Josh Donaldson with the big go-ahead RBI single in the 11th inning of Game 2. Michael Brantley, our guy, left Sunday, precautionarily struck in the head on a collision on the bases. Don't like that. Twinkies. Hey, how are you? They take 3 out of 4. The Rays sweep the Orioles, and that's obvious. Your best record in the American League, Tampa Bay Rays. Yarby, McClanahan, and Waka, but it was the Rays' offense. 303 batting average, a 597 slugging, and the bullpen, because that's what the Rays do. Margot with 6 hits. Nelson Cruz, 4 extra base hits. Daddy likes that. Shout out to Cedric Mullins. How's your 2020 season in August? Keep going, young man. I love that. And Brett Phillips, American hero, 2 homers, including a go-ahead grand salami in the 3rd game. In Oakland, walk in straight from Oakland, hold in my dick like the U.S. Open trophy. A's sweep the Rangers. They win the first game in 11. Bassett, he's having a crazy year. He's really good, huh? Swervin' Irvin with the offense in Game 2 as they put up a 12 spot. And then James No Cap Aprillian 6-3 to get the sweep. Marte with the walk-off 3-run homer in Game 1. And, man, he's got some big shoes to fill now because we thought he'd be teaming up with Laser Show Ramon, but he is suspended for 80 games. Don't like that. Marte had a huge series. Matt Olson, could hear about him later. We'll see, guys. And then the Cleveland Indians, soon to be the Guardians, hosted the Tigers, the battle for second place in the AL Central that everyone cares about. Cleveland wins the bookends to take the series. Cal Quantrill with the big start. And the Indians, they hit a series, which that's kind of not what Cleveland normally does. .333 batting average. Miles Flaw. He plays well. Bradley Zimmer, go ahead homer. No one really cares. Cleveland takes 2 out of 3 from Detroit.
Man, I'm excited for the interleague.
Trevor Plouffe interleague.
The Blue Jays and the Red Sox. They had the doubleheader, 4 games. Red Sox were able to win Game 2 of the doubleheader. It was a close game. Some heartbreaking losses as well.
Schmooks.
Yeah, not good.
Schmooks. Go check out the Springer home run if you haven't.
It was a bomb.
It's about as pretty as a homer gets. Just that uppercut swing. 442 on the tape measure. And, man, the Toronto Blue Jays, man, talk about a team playing good baseball. I think they're 8-2 in their last 10, along with the New York Yankees, along with the Tampa Bay Rays, while the Red Sox are 2-8 in their last 10, and that's why the AL East has been a jumble, and the wild card is crazy, and it's good for baseball, bad for our friends in the Commonwealth right now.
Mm-hmm. They did get a good start. They got a terrible start from Eovaldi, but Nick Pivetta turned it around. He goes 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. And then I think they got another good start in the doubleheader.
Good one?
But Hawk isn't stretched out,
Right.
So he only went 3 2/3, 1 earned run. So it's good, but he's still
Right.
not a starter. They do have a set date for sale. That's exciting. They knocked Ryu around, which is a bummer. But yeah, shit's nuts. Good for the Blue Jays. How many games have they played in Toronto now? The Rogers Center.
Toronto. Not sure.
Was that the first series or was that the second?
Want to say second series? I want to say they got in there the 31st or the 1st, something like that. Boy, they're playing a good brand of baseball. They are first in the MLB in OPS, second in batting average, third in runs, second in homers.
Third series.
And the pitching, man, Barrios has dropped it twice now. Trev's guy. Robbie Ray just having a great year at this point. Manoah. Hell, chicken strips. Mats. Ryu. Like, they got a 6-man going right now, and all of them are giving good efforts with that offense.
Yes. Barrios, to me, was one of the biggest additions, not just because he is a good pitcher and can help them, but I feel like it signaled to that team, like, hey, let's go. We've traded away 2 of our big prospects because we think our team is good enough right now. Like you mentioned, Barrios, Ryu, Manoah, and Ray. 4 starters having excellent years. And then you drop that offense behind them. Like I think the Jays are like, if they get in and they get in a full series against somebody, they can outmash anybody. And I think that's kind of what, they're thinking. And when you make a trade like that, it spices your clubhouse up a little bit, get you fired up. You're back in Toronto, Springer Dingers. The whole thing is going nuts.
The American League wild card is fun. The Blue Jays and the Yankees are officially in it. Blue Jays are 3 games out of the second wild card. Yankees are 2.5. Both are the hottest teams in baseball besides the Rays, who are not in a hunt. They're just in the wild card. The Yankees take 3 out of 4 from the Mariners. The Mariners really beat themselves up in this series. They played pretty poor defense in big spots. Let me rephrase. They played awful defense in big spots. They helped the Yankees out a good amount. Yankees pitched really well. Mariners' defense was brutal. The umps made some calls that helped the Yankees out in tight spots as well. But, Jacob, the Mariners will they come back, or does the separation get larger for the second wild card spot from here? What do you think?
Well, you're right about all that Yankee stuff. The Yankees also gave away Game 3. I mean, they gave it away on errors to give the Mariners a win. So, eye for an eye, the whole world is blind a little bit. Mariners, it's just, how can you believe? And I know Mariners fans don't want to hear that. And, hey, maybe we can get you a Pete Alonso cameo or something to make you believe. But negative 51 run differential this year. That's worse than the Detroit Tigers. And look at the teams you're up against now. Like the New York Yankees, who have been pitching their ass off, got Joey Gallo and Anthony Rizzo. The Toronto Blue Jays got Barrios. They got George Springer back. Like, that team is a force. They got Brad Hand. Like, they got relievers at the deadline. If you're Seattle, and hey, Toro, he's been killing it. So, like, hey, Mariners front office, you're probably going to end up looking good on that one in years to come. Castillo has had a couple outings. Love Diego Castillo, some of the grossest stuff in baseball. But the mountain you got to climb. Like, think about some of the teams we talked about. The Cincinnati Reds, it's pretty easy. Play good baseball, and if the Padres sputter a little, or the Brewers, you're full in it. The Mariners at this point need Boston to continue to go down the turlet, and then they need what? Oakland to straight up die, which they're showing no signs of. You need the Yankees to go down the toilet. You need the Blue Jays to go down the toilet. It's just too much of a hill. Luis Hill.
Yeah, I don't think they ever were really gonna compete. Actually, they're 5 games over 500 now. I know we want to give them credit because they have been playing well. I don't want to take anything away from what the team has done because it proved a lot of people wrong. But when you're talking about like legitimate playoff teams, World Series contender, I don't think they're ever really in the conversation. They made us have talks about them because they overperformed and had a few good stretches, but I don't think we were ever serious about them. Like, we could never say 2021 Mariners World Series champs without being like, that sounds ridiculous.
Well, not World Series, but wild card. I thought they were good enough to stick around through August, I guess. But who knows what we see? But
and
the
maybe
brand
we're
of
being
baseball
a little
wasn't
rude. I mean, they took 2 out of 3 from the Rays, and then they lost 3 out of 4 to the Yankees. Like, that's a pretty tough East Coast trip at this point in the year. They didn't look great against the Yanks, but they beat the Rays. And they've got Texas coming up. Texas, Toronto, Texas. So
they got a lot of Houston left on their schedule in Oakland.
But it does feel like, in Seattle, come get Poppy. It feels like we're going to look at the standings at the end of the year, and you're going to be like, oh.
Do the Mariners
80 and
finish
82.
above 500? Yeah, that's my question.
How many games over are they right now?
Let's see. Want to know what
5
Baseball
games
Reference
over.
has? Baseball Reference has their... Fuck are they?
Hello.
They have their best record, their best possible record as 88 and 74, and their worst as 77 and 85.
I don't know. Go beat up on the teams you're supposed to beat. Like, you got 6 coming up versus Texas in your next 9 games. Like, go Seattle. Keep fighting the good fight. And I do think you said this with the Mets a little bit, how the ownership said wait a little bit. They said that, but they also have Stroman on the 1-year deal, and they've kind of made their moves. They went out and got Lindor. If you're the Mariners,
Well,
and I know nobody wants to hear this, but look around the field now. J.P. Crawford at shortstop making plays. Toro at second. Kelnick is up. Rodriguez could be on the way next year after getting that bronze medal, and he looks like a stud. Like, it is genuinely Ty France. It is happening in Seattle, and that's cool.
Yeah. The Mets didn't give Stroman a 1-year deal. He accepted the qualifying, which I'm sure they would have been just as happy as if he didn't get the draft pick. But the most improved playoff odds in the last week. Do you want to guess between all the teams we talked about?
In the AL?
Yeah, in the AL. You can do NL too if you want.
Got to be Toronto or the Yanks.
Toronto. The
Yeah,
Yankees
Toronto.
didn't according to Baseball Reference, the Yankees didn't improve at all, and they have the Blue Jays with much more likely chance of finishing above them. So
Fangraph still likes
Wow.
the Yankees more.
So it must be schedule stuff there. The Phillies upped in the last 7 days. They upped their playoff chances by 30%.
That ain't bad.
Love that.
And the
That's what
Mets
8 in a row
dropped
will do.
theirs by 26%.
There it is. Throw a couple points to the
Next,
props.
maybe tomorrow we'll go over our over-under predictions and see what's changed, because I'm always curious about that. I feel like a lot of the things that I thought at the beginning of the season are starting to come to fruition, besides the San Francisco Giants, who are just a freaking enigma.
All right, Astros, they take 3 out of 4 from the Twins.
No.
Twins take 3 out of 4 from the Astros. My bad.
Yeah, don't be slighting my Twinkies, even though I think Twins territory does not like me right now, because I've been a Yankee guy.
Because you're
as
wearing a
of late.
Yankees jersey on the podcast?
I had to get some love. I wore a Rays jersey on the IG Live earlier today. I'm switching it all up.
First towel. Yeah, good for the Twins, I guess. Houston, what happened?
Yeah, what happened?
Sano hit a ball. I think that won them all 3 games with this one swing. He hit a ball. I don't even know how far it went. It looked like it went 700 feet. It was off McCullers. It was fucking. He can do that.
Looks like Framber had a hell of a tough inning. Ground out, single, double, ground out, single. 4-run inning in the second for Framber. Come on, Framber.
It's like the bats went a little chilly, too. Over the last week, it looks like Jordan, kind of the only guy doing it. And, man, is it injuries? I mean, Yuli and Bregman, how many times have we looked at this Astros lineup and we're like, whoa, I mean, that's kind of the class. Right now, the final 4 in their lineup, Aledmedez Diaz, Chas McCormick, Taylor Jones, and Martin Maldonado. That's not normally the situation in Houston.
McCormick's been pretty good.
Chas bro.
Chaz with an S. We got to talk
Right.
about that. That's not
Let's
great.
get caught up there.
I'm delusional scoreboard watching now, Trev. Did I tell you that? And
Okay.
the Orioles had a lead on the Rays in all 3 games.
Yes.
And all
yes.
3 times I checked the score at that moment. I was like, oh shit, Orioles might take a game. And then the Rays crushed them in the end. I didn't even
You see the bullpen?
They didn't even squeak back. They just absolutely destroyed them in the end. It's like, fuck, okay. I guess can't be that delusional to expect the Orioles to take even 1 game.
It's another instance of Nelson Cruz just being the most affordable, easiest piece to pick up, and nobody wants him. And then the team just gets him and reaps all the benefit. Another huge game by him. The game tying 3-run Jimmy Jack in the 6th, and then the go ahead 2-run double in the 8th. You're just going to get a masher with this guy. And the Twins figure that out. They had him for 3 years, and they signed him to a 1-year deal for $10 million every single time, and you get crazy production.
Yep. Rays starters got hit around a little bit. McClanahan or McClock, whatever it is, Mick. He had a good outing. 7 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, but Yarby and then Waka, tough starts against the O's for the Rays.
Okay.
Bullpen and offense.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. Best record in the AL. Gross.
Let's go to the IL. How many do you have, Trav? Whenever you do the IL, you have
I got
million. 3. Okay, here we go. Let's hear him.
Not bad.
A's deserved a little love.
All right.
Huh?
A's
Go A's.
swept the Rangers. Everyone's getting excited about the AL East and their wild card. Athletics are the home team in the wild card game right now, and there's a good chance they could make 2 very sad AL East teams.
And we didn't even mention Laureano. 80 games popped.
That
Says
sucks.
he didn't do it. A lot of guys having these weird things come up. Small, minuscule amounts come up. Kind of a story. We've talked about it a little bit. I would go research it if I was interested in, if you're a fan listening. But thank God they got Marte. Fits right in there.
Had 8 hits in 3 games. They just keep winning. We get all jazzed up about the Yankees coming back, the Jays coming back, Boston's fall. man, it's very clear now that there's going to be 2 teams in the AL that are just devastated at the end of the year.
Yes. And it's very clear that Jed Lowry is going to have a big double in a playoff game.
Has to.
Yeah, and then he's going to become a bench
That's
coach.
Jed Lowry.
Flap.
Yeah. All right. IL.
All right, my people. The White Sox took the long trip to Wrigley, and they went and swept the Cubs because the Cubs are not trying anymore. 8-6 White Sox in 10, 4-0 White Sox, and then 9-3 White Sox. They're doing it. There's not a hole on that team, and the Cubs, well, they opened the floodgates up when they traded every single person. The Cubs starter, 6.75 ERA. Bullpen, 4.7. They slashed 202, 257, 298. That's bad baseball right there. White Sox taking advantage of it. Eloy Jimenez, 6 hits, 5 extra base hits with 2 homers and 5 ribbies. Cesar Hernandez over from Cleveland. He had 2 homers. And they just crushed it. One thing of note, my guy Andrew Romine ties the game against Kimbrel with a 3-run homer in the 8th. Andrew Romine's in my book. Remember that, people. Anyways, it doesn't matter because Brian Goodwin said, no, I'm going to hit a go-ahead 2-run homer in the 10th and take it from you. Take your shine, Andrew. White Sox go on the sweep, and they're getting La Pantera back today. They're getting healthy. Watch out. White Sox sweep a 3-game set against the Cubs. Moving on, the Angels drove up the freeway, the 405. Or did they take? No, they took the 5. They took the 5. They took the 5. They go into LA and they lose 2 out of 3. Dodgers take 2 of 3 games. 4-3 Angels in 10 in game 1. Then it was 5-3 Dodgers, 8-2 Dodgers. Belly, I don't want to go too much into it. Might get some love later. 2 home runs. Chris Taylor continues to be a freaking guy. 5 hits, 2 extra base hits. Muncy fucking going under the radar again. 4 hits, 2 extra base hits. He's a guy. How do we not talk about Muncy more?
Ready.
Anyways, a lot of people did some cool stuff in here. Fletcher with 5 hits. Iglesias 3 extra base hits with a home run. But doesn't matter, man. Dodgers take 2 out of 3 because they're just the better team. Moving on, last series, the Royals going to St. Louis, and the Cardinals take 2 of 3, 4-2 Cardinals, 5-2 Cardinals, before the Royals won the rubber match 6-5. Goldschmidt, O'Neill, Carlson with all of 4 hits apiece and a home run each. Wainwright goes 7 innings, pitched 2 earned runs for the win in game 1 because he's the man. He's completed 7 innings in each of his last 4 starts with a 2.5 ERA in that span. Lester not doing too hot since the Cardinals acquired him, but that's okay because Flaherty is coming back. He's confident he'll rejoin the rotation against the Pirates. Let's go, Jay Flair, back in the show. And that's really it, man. Cardinals take 2 out of 3 from the Royals. Don't really know where they stand in the standings right now, but it's not very good. And that's all that happened in the IL, guys. No sweeps. Oh, 1 sweep.
Who swept?
White Sox sweep. White Sox
sweeps, but 1 sweep.
No sweeps, but 1 sweep. White Sox are getting healthy. They're scary. They're a Death Star. I think we're going to end up they're going to be the bad boys of the playoffs. That's what I think.
Okay.
You love Tony.
Hey, I didn't realize that there was McGill brothers in the league that both made their debut this year.
The McGills.
One on the Cubs, one on the
Like
Mets. 167,
Is
168.
McGill an Irish name?
McGill?
It was
Is it short for McGillicuddy?
McGill.
Irish people are great. There's so much Irish pride.
Shout out to our Irish listeners.
Shout out to all of them. What piques your interest here? Anything?
Trey Turner doing it for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Again, embarrassment of riches starting to happen, especially if Bell can get going.
Which Turner got hurt? Because I didn't read that. That's he exits game 3. Is that Justin or
I believe
Trey?
that's JT.
Little left groin discomfort.
In
So
there.
yeah.
Corey Knievel coming back. That could be something. White Sox rolled on the Cubs. It finished on Sunday Night Baseball, which was fun. We'll talk about that a little bit coming up. Man, Lou Bob coming back. And then, yeah, Cardinals, same speech I'll give you the rest of the way. Like, give me a 9-1, and then we'll talk about you a little
Will
bit.
that even do it? Will that do it for them?
You just got to get close to the Reds. Get a game and a half back from the Reds, and we'll talk about you. But right now, you're back.
Waino's on a fun run now for him being old for baseball. Is it 7 games in a row? 4 starts with 7 innings in a row.
Yes.
It's pretty cool.
Cardinals are 8 games back of the second wild card, for God's sake.
No, they're just having fun now.
It's crazy, man.
Dodgers, awesome.
You go out and make a move like that, get Nolan Arenado, and just does not happen for you.
Well, they got him for how long do they have Arenado?
Like
5 more years?
6
long time.
years
He's
unless he
locked
opts out or something.
I think he has opt-outs. They added an opt-out when they traded for him. I think it's each of the next 2 years he could.
I think he might be chilling.
Yeah, he'd be chilling.
David Price. What's his numbers in starts this year? I feel like they're going to be surprisingly good. Because he's just been bouncing wherever they need him.
He's having a solid year.
As a starter, he has a 3.45 ERA in 8 starts. And then as a reliever, 3.63 ERA.
Nice to have as your like backup swing guy.
Yeah, not a bad swing guy.
The Cy Young in the bag.
Dodgers are nuts.
Nuts.
All right, you want to move on to individual performances? Do the standouts, the slumpy, the infwaggy, or is there
You guys know I do have the hard out today.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to switch some things up.
What
or
time's your heart out?
About 20 minutes.
Okay.
All right, well, let's do standout performances, and we'll do awards, and then you can leave.
Standout performances.
Standout performances.
You guys go first. I'll be right back. I'll not 20 seconds.
Standout performances are brought to you by a bunch of people that had standout careers and made it to the Hall of Fame. And there's a YouTube series going on right now, 13 episodes, all about artifacts in the Hall of Fame and connections, connecting them across generations. Hall of Fame Connections is its name. Each episode telling a different story of how 2 seemingly unrelated artifacts in the museum's vast collection connect to each other, crossing through generations of baseball history. Each 2-part episode features both a narrative storytelling element that weaves through the history of some of the museum's most iconic artifacts and the Hall of Fame's curators conversing about those artifacts and stories. Support for the series was provided by a Market New York grant through I Love New York and New York State's Division of Tourism as part of the Regional Economic Development Council initiative. Go follow Baseball Hall on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Stay up to date. Enjoy the series. Find out about some cool baseball history as you do. Standout performances.
Before we do that, I'm just seeing how far into the episode we are, and I would like to avoid the Robo-Trev.
Okay.
Do a quick refresh.
Trev?
Quick refresh, Trev. See ya. My standout performance, and it's a bit of a layup, but it builds off the conversation we had last week. It's Zach Wheeler. 9 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 11 strikeouts. I had a lot of people tweeted at me saying it had to be, which usually means I'm not going to do it, but had to be, especially with bullpen day going before. The bullpen day before for that Phillies. The Roy Halladay stuff is incredible. The day they retire his jersey, it's the first time that a Phillies pitcher retires 22 straight batters. Absolute dominant. Shifts all his numbers into like the best pitcher in the NL right now. Crazy how good Wheeler's been against his former team, the Mets. 9 innings pitched, only 2 hits, 11 strikeouts, drops him down to a 2.42 ERA on the season. And it's his 8th game not allowing a run. Crazy. 6th game with double-digit strikeouts.
See your guy Girardi getting a little emotional?
Yeah. Oh, he's Italian. He's a crier.
Yeah.
He
Hand
cried?
on the shoulder, heavy. What was that?
Girardi cried?
It's emotional.
For
Yeah.
what?
The Roy Halladay connection type stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So Zach Wheeler's my standout.
It's a
Jake?
good one.
Who's yours?
That's a good one. I am going with just one of my favorites. Trev, you mentioned they've got more coming. You know, the Chicago White Sox got Craig Kimbrell at the deadline. They also got one of my favorite hitters in baseball. Eloy Jimenez is back. And on Sunday Night Baseball, he put on a display. A couple homers. Such easy power. Maybe this offseason he'll come up with an easy power team. Because, I mean, guy flicks one, a fly ball to center. It's 10 rows deep. And then he catches another one. Man, we got caught up in Yermin Mercedes, and it was fun. And, hey, I hope Yermin comes back and hits at some point. Big boy Eloy, 9 games, 3 homers. One of our early season episodes, we were doing, some breakout stuff, things like that. I had Eloy as my full-blown breakout as, like, one of the best hitters in the American League. He gets the terrible pectoral injury. He's back, and plug that guy into any lineup. Never mind one of the best teams in the American League. Like Trev was saying, we might just look at this White Sox team at the end of the year and say, holy crap, did they just have more talent than everyone else. He's awesome. Eloy.
Eloy.
I love that. I love Eloy.
First pitch he saw in the game, right?
Send any pitches at him. It doesn't matter, man.
Zach Davies, first pitch he sees of that game from Tim Anderson, home run. Then 2 pitches later, single, gets a strikeout, then thinks like, okay, I'm rolling, and then Eloy just jumps the first pitch.
Not so much, my friend. It's good.
Good job, Eloy
Treviello.
Jimenez.
Well, I was going to give my award, standout performance, to Backyard Brad. But I didn't see that Jimmy went with the Phillies, so I'll switch it up. Shout out Backyard Brad, 2-homer game. I just like when he hits them. They're majestic. He's got like a good swing for homers and highlights and stuff like that. So shout out to him. Love the uni on him. He's been part of that 8 in a row kind of streak they're on. So I switched it up last second. And I'm going with my guy, Blake freaking Snell. Shoving it up Jim's, you know what, 7 innings pitched, no runs, 13 Ks. He does walk 3 people, but second time this year he's gone 7 innings. The other time was against the Mets when he went 7 innings, 10 Ks. So most Ks he's had this year. I think the Padres need him to be this guy. Maybe not 7. He doesn't have to go 7, Blake, but get you into the 6 more often than not, and kind of be the guy that they traded for. And you were that. I know people. I know it was against Jake Snakes. I get that. But sometimes you need to go beat up on a team, get that confidence going. So shout out Blake Snell. Bump day, baby. Snellzilla bump day.
It's going toe-to-toe with Mad Bum. And we haven't talked about Mad Bum. We talked about him a lot in April, and we haven't talked about him since, which seems a little unfair. His first 3 games were god-awful. His next 14 games, Madison Bumgarner has a 3.23 ERA. He's gone 3 starts in a row, 7 innings pitched, 2 earned runs or less. I wanted to do this last episode, but I forgot. But Mad Bum, it was a lot of jokes and laughs. Like, oh, that's a terrible contract, and he's really turned it around last 14 games.
Slanging it, baby.
Yep.
And, maybe the bigger thing for Snell, 100-plus pitches, over 100 pitches, back-to-back starts. He hasn't done that since 2018 when he got that Cy in the bag. So that's baseball's a funny sport, man. Like, we had the Mets in first place for 3 months, and we were jovial and excited for them. You can still change your season around. If Snell takes it to the finish line with how many more starts does he have? 6, 7?
Right now he's started 21. Yeah, he's only got a few more. Yeah, 7 or 8 starts left.
Finish strong, Snell. Trevor Plouffe has swag.
Ooh.
When Snell's good, it's fun too. Like, he's a fun guy to root for. So, bump day.
Bump day.
All right, let's skip forward to awards. Rearrange the order a little bit.
Wow, special ep.
Yeah. My award is the good, the bad, and the Jake.
Oh, because he's ugly.
I didn't even put that
It
together.
was progressive field, man.
Yeah. I wanted to go just look into the stat that I've been talking about a lot, like how many times does a player get 3 or more plate appearances without reaching base at all, or having a sac fly, or having a productive out.
Okay.
You know, because you can track it pretty easily. So I wanted to find which player has the most of these, and then which player has the other side has reached base or had an RBI or moved runners over in a game. Who has the most games? So the good. Pretty easy guess. Vladimir Guerrero. He has 97 games where he's participated offensively. He's played 109, and he's got 97. Means he got 12 where he didn't. That's crazy. Brian Reynolds is in second place with 95, Bo Bichette 94, and Ozzie 94 as well. So that's your good. The bad. Now, they got 3 or more plate appearances. Did not do a thing.
Didn't
contribute. Who has the most games? Maikel Franco's the leader with 29. Behind him, I was kind of surprised by this one, Kyle Seager. Behind him, Hunter Dozier. Those are your leaders in the most games where they just got their at-bats and did not do a thing.
Sure.
So I'm going to keep track of it at the end of the year. It's going to be called the Did You Do Anything Award.
Did you do anything award?
And then Jake wins the Jake Award.
Hey. Not a bad day at the office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hunter Dozier having a tough year. Don't look at those stats.
Yeah, what's Kyle Seager's numbers?
3 third basemen. How about that? Seager's, I think his batting average is really low, so when he catches one, maybe he's catching one.
His slugging is helping him tiny.
All about the homers.
Yeah.
Jim, great award.
Thanks.
Great award. I will be giving out the Treebeard Award.
Treebeard.
Treebeard on this week's episode of Talkin Baseball.
Oh, wow.
People have been missing that.
The people have been asking, so I figured I'd deliver it for them. Treebeard Jim, I know you're familiar, but he really comes to cinematic light in the movies. The Hobbits are asking him for help, Merry and Pippin. And, he carries them through the forest. It's a tree.
It's an ent. It's not a tree.
Well, I'm trying to help Jimbo out.
Google image Treebeard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
And he carries them towards Isengard.
He's a shepherd of the forest.
Sometimes when you're on the outside, like me, and
Yeah.
you have no idea what Star Wars, Lord of the Rings is,
Yeah.
you put the high benchmark in your head.
Yeah.
Like it must be prestigious and awesome and good. And then you find out there's a character named Treebeard, and it looks like straight out of Sesame Street. And you're like, this is what all the adults love?
Powerful.
Whoa, what? Sesame Street?
Treebeard is a character from Sesame Street.
Treebeard is powerful.
He kills many things.
And, he sees the devastation that Saruman's orcs are bringing on, all that, and he pursues the other. The big thing for me is, some of the best scenes in the movie. He's carrying Merry and Pippin, which is just good humor. And there's a guy who I love, who I hinted towards it before, and there's all this East Coast bias on the shore. Guys, I'm not tripling down on George Springer, even though the chat wants it. There's a guy who's got the team on his back. 3rd best OPS in the American League. It's Vladito, it's Shohei Ohtani, and then it is Matt Olson. My guy is killing it this year. Go look at Matt Chapman's stats. Not having a great year. Laureano just gets suspended. Marte, nice. Vagabond, gun for hire. I like that. On offense for Oakland this year, it is the Matt Olson show. He is raking. I think he's got a 4.3 WAR this year. My guy does it on both sides. I'm telling you, go look at the Oakland A's offense. It's Matt Olson and a bunch of with a little Mark Hanna, our guy. But
Yeah.
28 homers on the year, 285, 377, a 954 OPS, a 165 OPS plus. I love me some Matt Olson. He is having a huge year. And, again, we get caught up in all these AL East teams causing havoc right now. Oakland A's have the home wild card game. And there's no doubt who the best player on that team has been this year. Matty Olson. You're looking at top 5 MVP stuff this year and dating my daughter.
Okay.
Congrats on all of it.
Yes, thank you.
Matt Olson, Treebeard. Award.
Treebeard.
I like where you went with that. I don't really understand the correlation.
I
He's
was-
carrying the team like he's carrying
the
Marion
Hobbits.
Pippin.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Someone in the chat said that Kyle Seager only hits when there's runners on, and I was interested in that, so I looked at the splits. They're insane, and now I'm really curious about Seager's whole mindset. With bases empty, 151 batting average, 578 OPS, bad, awful.
Bad.
With anyone on base,
Anyone?
309 batting average, 386 on base percentage, 931 OPS. So Seager's just locked in, or he doesn't care, it seems like.
Passing on some signs.
What's not men on second? With men on second, he's killing it. Those are weird splits.
Mariners found out the secret to your success.
Trev, what is your award?
My award is the Seasons Started Award.
This is huge.
Now, that's a saying that ball players will use. Like, hey, season started already. Or you can say, season starts today. A lot of different ways you can use that.
Yep.
I'm giving this award to our guy, Cody Bellinger. I don't know if you guys have looked at the stats. They're downright atrocious. He's hitting a $175 on the year. He's getting on base at a 269 clip. He's only slugging 323. He's been below replacement level. This is a freaking MVP we're talking about. He won the MVP what year? 2019?
I think so, yeah.
And we're talking about a guy who has taken the largest step back that you can take. But it looks like the season started July 31st for him. It was like somebody said, Cody, wake up. We need you, bro. Like, yeah, we got a bunch of studs on our team, but you're a freaking MVP. July 31st against Jake Snakes. Jake Snakes might as well be the generator, baby. Getting people going. Goes 2 for 5 that game against the Snakes. He's had a hit in every game since. A 6-game hitting streak. 6-game hitting streak. Back-to-back games with a home run. He had the shoulder thing like Tatis. And he came into 2021 with a different stance. And that was kind of a thing in spring training. Like, he changed his stance. Like, what's up with that? He said it just felt right during his off-season work. Well, he's been getting exposed like a mofo with heaters inside. He can't hit heaters inside. So whatever he's changed in the offseason clearly didn't work this year. Whether that's a shoulder thing too, I do not know. But the games that I watched some of the Angel series this weekend. He's swinging the shit out of the bat. It looks like he's being more aggressive. I don't know if that's something that somebody got in his ear and was like, man, you just got to go for it or what. But I like the way it just looks like a more aggressive swing. I don't know another word to describe it. He's getting it going. Season starter for him. They need him to go. If you get healthy and producing Cody B in that lineup, I mean, there's just I don't know, man. They're like the White Sox to me. Who the hell is going to stop them? But they need Belly's a huge part of that because he's been bad on defense and he's been bad offensively. But 6-game hitting streak, man. Season started. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, it's really interesting because Roberts came out and said he was going to platoon, and then on Sunday, he was in the lineup against a lefty.
Keep it. Just hit those homers, man. That's how you stay in the lineup, dude.
Hit, you play.
I was actually happy that he said that because you have to make difficult decisions sometimes. And if he's not producing, like you've given him how many at-bats? A lot. There are some weird auxiliary numbers, Jim. The BABIP is really low, so you expect some positive regression there. But he's also hitting the ball softer than like his hard hit percentage is down. His fly ball percentage is way up. So that's something you look at and you're like, hey, let's maybe shorten up a little bit. But then when I watched him swing, it wasn't a shorten up swing. He's going after the ball. So we'll see how long this lasts. But 6-game hitting streak, getting back into the thick of it. And they need it because what are they, 4 games back of the Giants right now?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know the
So
number.
Belly, let's go, man.
Good award, Trev. Do you want to say goodbye to the people?
I do. You know I love Monday episodes. The chat was popping. Got a lot of people watching right now. Thank you. We'll see you We'll record tomorrow. See you guys on Wednesday.
Record tomorrow. See them Wednesday. We'll do Slump Watching in Fuego.
Okay.
Take care of it. Maybe a little elevator
Give
talk.
Give a big shout out to Key Brian Hayes, my guy. He's been struggling, but he's
Your
got
flower?
now. No, that's Hayes,
Oh. my bad.
and he's doing great, or she's doing great. Excuse me.
Wow, I didn't know it was a she.
That conversation's coming.
Ooh. Okay.
Bye, Trevor.
Bye, Trev. See ya.
Love you guys.
Love you.
We had 5 guys on Slump Watch. Actually, I think we only had 4, and we got a lot of potential additions. So, BBD, who may we be putting on?
Oh, one of the 2 guys left from this year's Cubs team, Patrick Wisdom, goes 0 for 9 with a walk and 5 Ks. Pete Alonso goes in line with the Mets getting swept. He was 0 for 11 with 2 walks and
At least
5
I got
Ks.
to watch him hit, though.
You got to watch it. Justin Turner has a 1 for 9 weekend. The one was a double. Colton Wong 1 for 12. We like him. And Mike Yastrzemski 1 for 11, 2 Ks.
Okay, well, JT's going to miss a few days with the groin, so that seems like an easy, we'll let him, maybe it was nagging at him, He's out.
Get out of here, JT.
Not.
Predates the
I
slump.
love you.
Verdugo solidly comes off of Slump Watch. Might even be a shame to flame situation. He goes 5 for 11 with a homer and a double, and there's a big homer.
Yeah.
Won him game 2 of the doubleheader. So claps for Verdugo. It's a 500 on base percentage, 455 batting average. You're gone.
Job, Doogie.
Carlos Santana, Jake. 2 for 11 with 2 walks.
Yeah, that's tough. I guess I want to see the rest of the options. Royals not playing for much right
I
now.
think, looking ahead, you guys will make the final decision. But looking ahead, you might want to keep Carlos Santana on.
He might be a good 5th.
Brian Hayes, Trevor said we should talk about him. 6 for 15 with a homer and 2 doubles, 2 RBIs. Good job by him. He is solidly off, as well as Trey Mancini facing those Rays pitchers. 4 for 13 with 2 doubles and a walk.
Professional hitter.
Trey, it wasn't a huge slump. Anyway, maybe I forget what it was before, but last year's is only an 0 for 8. Only played 2 games, so
I think we left him on because we wanted him to be
knew.
good.
We knew.
You were helping.
Yeah. All right. So who do you want to add? You want to add Alonso? Seems like we should definitely add Alonso.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Pete,
Well,
you,
there's 4 dudes.
you say those words, and you go 0 for 11. Yep. Patrick Wisdom had a really interesting point. Like I said, kind of about Snell. Wisdom's had a really nice year. 65 games. He's got an 869 OPS. That's really good. You better finish strong, kid. And he can do it. That's why we're putting you on Slump Watch. Colton Wong, my fashion coach. Little 1 for 12. He'll get off, so I'm fine with that.
For sure.
And then Yazzer, who's been, I feel like, up and down, a 1 for 11. I'll keep an eye on him. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
There you have it. Carlos, Pat, Pete, Cole,
There you have
Mike.
it. Those are the guys on Slump Watch.
Watch him.
Dirt nasties on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
Oh, man. Eloy Jimenez, you heard about him. Comes back, goes off. Yordan Alvarez also had 2 home runs, 7 hits on the weekend with 5 RBIs. Starlin Marte, we talked about him a little bit, 8 for 15, home run, 2 doubles. Didn't he make a nice catch, too?
Starling, yes, he did.
Yeah. Sam Hillard Hilliard?
Couple rocks sneak on the list, Jim.
5 for 9 with a home run, and then
Your
Connor
guy.
Joe. I just
Your
laughed when
guy.
I saw that name because
Yeah.
I who's Connor Joe, and his last name's not Joe.
Connor Joe.
Connor Joe.
His last name is Joe,
Yeah.
Mr. Joe.
I
Connor
haven't
Joe.
done it at the office, but every time I've like pulled up Twitter and seen he's done something, I happen to have been with my brother, and I drop, oh, Connor Joe just did this, and it makes me
Connor
laugh
Joe,
because
my guy.
that's a funny name.
Yeah. Connor Joe.
Ooh, I've got good news.
He is not confused to be. He's not to be confused with Joe Connor,
No.
another MLB player from 1895.
Looks
Yeah,
like he
Joe
deleted.
Connor's my friend's dad's name.
Looks like he deleted his Twitter, but it used to be Kojo. So for being named Connor Joe, Kojo is a pretty good alternative.
Yes. His middle name is Kakwi.
Mm.
Wonder what his ethnicity is. He's American, but his ancestry,
is
I
he-
guess, whatever
I
it
think
is.
that's the word you're
'Cause that's
looking for.
that's where Kakwi would come from. I don't think I've ever heard Joe as a last name.
Mm.
But I like it.
Huge.
Hey, he's a testicular cancer survivor. That's awesome. Good for him. Him and who was the Yankee? Tyler Austin.
Tyler Austin.
Who just lit it up in the Olympics. That's cool. All right. Anything else we got to talk about? Just get on this elevator.
Yeah, there's a couple. CJ Crone, also from my Rocks. Brandon Belt, we talked about his 4 homers. Crone matched that. And Jesse Winker, who we might hear about in a second. He's the best friend, PBT.
Yeah, I know that.
Oh, best friend
I'm
of the
not
pod?
stupid. Yeah, Jesse Winker's the best friend of the week. He goes 7 for 13, 2 homers, 3 doubles, 7 RBIs, 3 walks, and a hit by pitch. And we got into a little conversation about him on Wake and Jake today. His month-by-month OPS is fun, like almost exactly
He's
1 dot
close.
April and May. June, a tiny step down, still 918 OPS. July was the comparative down month. He just kind of turned all his homers into doubles. And he's back in August, 1.5 in 7 games so far in August. So
Look at that.
All right, we're getting into an elevator, and the person that steps in with us is wearing a Los Angeles Angels hat, which is good because I don't think we talked about them at all today.
Angels.
Did we talk about them?
Yeah, they played the Dodgers. Trev said they took the 5 to get up there.
He was unsure.
Is Trouty coming back?
just turned 30.
Yeah, that's right.
They
Happy
did
birthday.
They did win game 1, so there you go.
Shohei.
Sandoval had another good start.
I know we talk about him, but his offensive stats are off the map. 37 home runs, 1.015 with 15 swipes. He's a freak.
They got Brewstar to win game 1, so that's cool. I don't know. What are you talking? What are Angels fans talking
Max Stassi. We talked about him on the JM baseball team. If he plays more, he's having a really nice year hitting behind the dish. Phil Gosselin's name always makes me laugh.
Hey, dude, they did an all J game, and they're pitching in game 2. This is what you say on the elevator. Hey, did you know they did an all J game? Jaime Barria, Jose, I don't know how to say his name, Quijada, Junior Guerra, and Jose Quintana.
Wow, Quijada and Quintana.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Jaime, Jose, Junior, and Jose.
Otani's winning MVP.
Yeah, I think that's what they're cheering for right now. You're cheering for Otani to win.
Oh,
MVP.
they called up that kid with the hair, Marsh. Looks like he's not doing well. Joe Adell is
Adell
back
came
up,
back.
and he's hitting, so that's good. Joe Adell was like leading the minor leagues in home runs, which is always one of those things that it's like,
What's the Bull Durham quote? It's a pretty dubious honor.
he's one of your top prospects. Bring him back up. But Joe Madden pooped on him before the season, so
Rendon out.
down out for the year. Hey, next year's outfield could be cool. Is that going to be Adell, Trout, and Marsh? I'm I'm in on
I
that.
hope so.
Tune in and find out next year.
Jared Walsh was an all-star this year.
Get some pitching.
Jay-Sox. They drafted 20 pitchers. 7.
Now sign a bunch of pitchers. Sign 20 pitchers.